What does it truly mean to be free? For many, freedom is the ability to travel where they want, work when they want, and live without financial fear. But freedom is not built on chance, it is built on habits, discipline, and strategy. Financial independence is not reserved for the lucky few. It is not about winning the lottery, or stumbling into fortune. It is about the art of managing your money, shaping your mindset, and building habits that transform income into independence. Ask yourself, if your job ended tomorrow, how long could you sustain your current lifestyle? Do you control your money, or does your money control you? Are your daily financial choices creating stability, or keeping you in cycles of stress? This audiobook, written and published by the Audiobook Library, will guide you step by step through the principles, strategies, and disciplines of financial independence. You will discover how to escape debt, build savings, grow investments, and create systems that allow you to live life on your terms. Because the truth is simple: when you master money, you master freedom. Chapter 1: The Foundations of Financial Independence. Financial independence does not begin with money. It begins with mindset. Before you can ever achieve freedom in your finances, you must first achieve clarity in your thinking. Many people believe that independence is a number, a specific balance in the bank, or a certain level of income. But the truth is deeper. Independence is the ability to live life on your terms, without being chained to debt, fear, or dependency. The road begins with how you see money, how you handle it daily, and the choices you repeat consistently. The difference between wealth and independence: wealth is often misunderstood. Some imagine it as luxury cars, big houses, or flashy displays of success. But financial independence is not about appearances, it is about options. A wealthy person without discipline can still live in chains, trapped in debt and anxiety. A modest earner with strong habits can live free, with peace and stability. The key is not how much you earn, but how you manage, multiply, and protect what you earn. Independence is freedom of choice, not freedom of spending. The habit of clarity. The first habit of financial independence is clarity. Most people live with vague numbers. They know they get paid, they know they spend, but they don't truly know where their money goes. Clarity demands that you track, review, and understand your finances. What is your total income each month? What are your exact expenses? Where does your money leak without your awareness? Without clarity, financial independence will always remain a dream. With clarity, you can see the road clearly and begin to walk it with confidence. Escaping the trap of debt. Debt is one of the greatest enemies of financial independence. It promises ease today but steals freedom tomorrow. Every loan, every credit card balance, every unpaid obligation becomes a chain around your future. The interest grows quietly, turning what seemed like a small choice into years of burden. The first step to freedom is to stop digging deeper. Avoid unnecessary borrowing. Pay down existing debt with discipline. Build the habit of patience, waiting until you can afford what you desire instead of financing it with tomorrow's freedom. Debt-free living is the foundation on which independence is built. The power of living below your means. Financial independence is impossible without mastering this single principle. Live below your means. This habit is not about deprivation, it is about strategy. By spending less than you earn, you create margin. That margin becomes savings, investments, and eventually freedom. Most people fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation. When their income rises, their spending rises even faster. Independence builders resist this temptation. They live with intentional restraint, knowing that every unnecessary expense delays their freedom. The emergency fund, your safety net. Independence is not just about wealth building, it is about resilience. Life will always bring unexpected challenges, medical emergencies, job loss, repairs, or sudden expenses. Without preparation, these events throw people back into debt and delay their journey. The habit of building an emergency fund, at least 3 to 6 months of expenses, creates a buffer. It is a shield that allows you to handle storms without collapsing financially. With this safety net in place, your future is protected against the unexpected. The psychology of money. Money is not only mathematical, it is emotional. Many struggle with finances not because they lack knowledge, but because they lack control over impulses, fears and desires. Some overspend to feel status. Some hoard money out of fear. Some ignore money completely, hoping problems disappear. The art of financial independence requires mastering your relationship with money. It means seeing it not as a source of stress or identity, but as a tool. Money should serve you, not enslave you. It is the result of small, consistent actions, tracking every expense, saving a small percentage regularly, paying debts slowly but steadily, resisting impulses and focusing on priorities. The small steps repeated daily create habits, and those habits create freedom. The identity of independence. Your journey begins with adopting a new identity. Stop saying I am bad with money, or I will never be rich. Start saying, I am a builder of freedom. I am disciplined with money. I am shaping a future of independence. Your words create habits. Your habits create your destiny. Financial independence is not only for the wealthy, it is for the disciplined, the intentional and the focused. By building these foundational habits, you begin the journey from financial stress to financial freedom. This is the art of financial independence, mastering yourself, mastering your money, and shaping a life where you are free to choose your own future. Chapter 2. Mastering the habit of saving. Financial independence is not built on how much you earn. It is built on how much you keep. Earning money is only the beginning. Saving is the discipline that transforms income into independence. Without saving, money slips through your fingers like water, no matter how much you make. Why saving is non-negotiable. Many people underestimate saving. They see it as optional, something to do only if there's money left over after expenses. But this is the mistake that keeps people trapped. Saving is not optional. It is essential. It is the seed that grows into wealth. It is the foundation of every investment, every opportunity, every step toward independence. Without saving, emergencies lead to debt. Without saving, opportunities pass you by. Without saving, your future remains uncertain. The habit of saving is the habit of securing your freedom. Pay yourself first. One of the most powerful principles of saving is simple. Pay yourself first. Most people follow the pattern. Earn, spend and then save whatever is left. But often, nothing is left. The bills, the lifestyle, the habits, they consume everything. Financially independent people reverse the order. They save first, before they spend. They treat savings like a non-negotiable bill. Every month, a portion of their income goes directly into savings or investments, no matter what. This habit shifts saving from optional to automatic. How much should you save? The exact number will vary depending on your income and goals, but the principle is the same. Save consistently and stretch yourself to save more over time. Beginners might start with 10% of income. Disciplined savers aim for 20–30%. Aggressive builders push even higher. The percentage is less important than the consistency. Small amounts, saved with discipline, grow larger than big amounts saved occasionally. Automating the habit. Discipline is powerful, but automation is even stronger. Relying on willpower alone makes saving harder. The solution is to automate. Set up automatic transfers from checking to savings on payday. Use separate accounts to avoid temptation. Treat savings as money you never touch, except for building your future. Automation removes the need for constant decision-making and ensures that saving happens, whether you feel like it or not. Building multiple savings buckets. Not all savings are the same. To achieve independence, it helps to separate savings into clear categories. Emergency fund, for unexpected expenses, protecting you from debt. Short-term goals, for travel, purchases or projects. Long-term independence fund, dedicated to financial freedom and investment. By dividing your savings, you create order, reduce stress and make sure your money has a clear purpose. The psychology of saving. Saving is not just financial, it is psychological. It requires patience, discipline, and resisting the temptation of instant gratification. Every time you save instead of spending, you are practicing delayed gratification. Every dollar saved is a vote for your future. Saving builds confidence and peace of mind, reducing financial anxiety. The habit of saving is not about restriction. It is about empowerment. It shifts your focus from what you can't afford now to what you are building for later. Common excuses that destroy savings. Many people convince themselves they can't save. Here are common excuses and the truths behind them. I don't earn enough to save. Even a small amount matters. Saving is about habit, not amount. I'll start when I make more money. If you don't save at a low income, you won't save at a high income. Habits scale with you. I need to enjoy life now. True enjoyment comes from freedom, not financial stress. Saving builds a life you can truly enjoy. Excuses protect short-term comfort, but destroy long-term independence. The role of sacrifice. Saving often requires sacrifice. That sacrifice is temporary, while freedom is permanent. Saying no to daily luxuries creates the margin to save. Cutting back on unnecessary spending builds financial muscle. Choosing discipline now buys you choices later. Every sacrifice today becomes a seed for a freer tomorrow. The compounding power of time. One of the greatest secrets of saving is compounding. Every dollar saved, if invested wisely, grows on its own. Over time, interest earns interest, and small amounts multiply into large sums. The habit of saving early is more powerful than saving later with bigger amounts. The earlier you start, the more compounding works in your favor. The identity of a saver. Finally, saving must become part of your identity. Say to yourself, I am someone who values my future. I am disciplined with money. I build wealth by saving consistently. When saving becomes who you are, not just what you do, it becomes effortless. Chapter 3. The power of investing. Turning savings into wealth. Saving protects you. Investing frees you. If saving is about building the foundation, investing is about building the structure of your financial independence. Saving ensures stability, but investing accelerates growth. Money that sits still slowly loses value to inflation. Money that works for you through investing multiplies and creates freedom. Why investing matters. Consider this. Saving. If you save $10,000 and let it sit in a bank account, in 10 years it will still be around $10,000 minus the effects of inflation. But if you invest that same $10,000 at an average return of 8%, in 10 years it grows to over That's the power of investing. Turning time and money into allies. Financial independence cannot be achieved through saving alone. At some point your money must work harder than you do. The mindset of an investor. Before strategies and numbers. Investing begins with mindset. To be a successful investor, you must think long-term. Investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Embrace patience. Markets rise and fall. Wealth is built by staying consistent. Value knowledge. Learn before you leap. Control emotions. Fear and greed destroy investors faster than bad markets. Your mindset is your shield. Without it, even the best strategy fails. The 3 wealth-building vehicles. Investing comes in many forms. But financial independence often rests on three core vehicles: stocks and equity investments. Owning shares in companies gives you a piece of their growth and profits. Benefits: high potential returns, compounding growth. Risks: volatility, emotional pressure during downturns. Real estate: property creates both cash flow, rent, and appreciation value growth. Benefits: tangible asset, income, leverage opportunities. Risks: market downturns, maintenance, debt mismanagement. T's: buy smart, manage well, think location, and long-term demand. 3. Business and entrepreneurship. Creating or investing in businesses builds wealth beyond traditional assets. Benefits: high upside, control, multiple streams of income. Risks: high failure rates, time intensive. T's: identify scalable opportunities, reinvest profits, build system. Diversification, the safety net. One of the oldest principles of investing is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversification spreads risk and protects you from disaster. Diversify across asset classes, stocks, real estate, bonds, business. Diversify within classes, different industries, regions, markets. Diversify across time, consistent investing, rather than lump sums at random. The goal isn't to avoid risk completely, it's to balance risk intelligently. Active, passive investing. Active investing means picking stocks, flipping houses, or running businesses. It can generate high returns but requires skill, time, and research. Passive investing means using index funds, ETFs, or long-term rental properties. Set it, let it grow, and stay patient. Both have a place. The secret is matching your strategy to your personality, knowledge, and lifestyle. The principle of compound growth. Compounding is where investing becomes almost magical. Example: $500 invested monthly at 8% annual growth becomes 7. The same amount if started 10 years later becomes only 3. The difference is not the money, it's the time. The earlier you start, the greater the reward. Compounding rewards the disciplined, the patient, and the consistent. Risk management. Protecting your investments. Investing involves risk, but smart investors don't avoid risk. They manage it. Never invest money you can't afford to lose. Keep an emergency fund so you don't liquidate investments in crisis. Understand the risk-reward trade-off of each asset. Protect with insurance, diversification, and knowledge. Remember, the goal is not just to grow wealth, but to preserve it. Emotional traps to avoid. The greatest danger in investing is not the market, it's your emotion. Fear, selling in panic when markets drop. Greed, chasing hot trends without research. Impatience, expecting overnight results. Comparison, feeling inadequate because someone else's portfolio looks bigger. Mastering your emotions makes you a master investor. Building an investor identity. To move from saver to investor, you must adopt the identity of someone who multiplies wealth. Tell yourself, I am an investor. I use money as a tool to create freedom. I think long-term and act with discipline. When investing becomes who you are, your decisions naturally align with growth. Systems that make investing work. Automated investing. Schedule monthly contributions into index funds or retirement accounts. Regular reviews. Check your portfolio quarterly, not daily. Continuous learning. Read, study, and learn from other investors. Accountability. Partner with mentors or communities to stay on track. Systems turn investing into a habit, not a gamble. The bigger picture. Investing is not just about money. It's about freedom. Every dollar invested is a worker hired for your future. Eventually, your investments can pay your bills, fund your dreams, and give you time to live on your terms. Investing is how you move from working for money to letting money work for you. Chapter 4. Building multiple streams of income. The blueprint for lasting freedom. Relying on a single source of income is like balancing your entire life on one leg. If that leg fails, if your job ends, your business struggles, or your health keeps you from working, everything collapses. Financial independence requires stability, and stability comes from diversification, not only in investments but also in income. Wealthy individuals rarely depend on just one paycheck. They design systems where money flows in from several directions, creating resilience and abundance. You must shift from the mindset of being a single income earner to becoming a creator of multiple, reliable income streams. Why one income is never enough. For decades, people were taught to find a stable job and rely on it for life. That era is gone. Jobs are no longer secure. Entire industries can collapse overnight. Technology can make positions obsolete, and companies can downsize without warning. When you have only one source of income, you are always vulnerable to external forces. You trade time for money with no backup plan. You cap your potential wealth at what one channel can provide. But when you build multiple income streams, you create safety nets that protect you from unexpected changes. You unlock new levels of growth, because your income is no longer tied to one activity. You gain freedom, because money continues to flow even when you rest. The mindset shift. To build multiple streams of income, you must see yourself not only as a worker, but as an architect of wealth. You are not just an employee or business owner. You are a builder of financial system. Each system becomes a river, and the more rivers you create, the stronger and deeper your financial ocean becomes. This mindset shift is crucial. Instead of asking, "How can I earn more from my one source?" start asking, "What new streams can I build that flow alongside it?" The 4 categories of income. There are many ways to earn money, but most income streams fall into 4 categories. 1. Earned income. This is money you receive directly for your time, skills or labor, like a salary, freelancing or consulting. It is the most common but also the most limited, because your time is finite. 2. Investment income. This is money your money generates, dividends from stocks, interest or capital gains. It grows quietly in the background, requiring less effort once systems are set up. 3. Business income. This comes from creating or owning a business. It could be an online store, a consultancy, a scalable startup, or even royalties from intellectual property. The power of business income is that it can scale far beyond your personal labor. Passive income. This is the dream income that continues whether you work or not. Examples include rental income, book royalties, online courses or automated digital products. Passive doesn't mean effortless. It means front-loading the effort, so the income continues afterward. Building streams step by step. It's overwhelming to think you need 10 income streams at once. The secret is to start with one additional stream, master it, and then expand. Step 1. Strengthen your foundation. Keep your primary income stable while building new one. Don't abandon security too early. Step 2. Leverage your skills. What do you already know that can be monetized? Freelancing, teaching, consulting, or creating digital products often come from existing expertise. Step 3. Choose scalable opportunities. Focus on income streams that can grow without demanding equal increases in your time. For example, investing in stock scales better than working extra overtime. Step 4. Automate where possible. Set up systems such as automatic investment contributions or digital platforms that run even when you sleep. Step 5. Reinvest your earnings. Use profits from one stream to build the next. This creates a compounding effect across your entire financial system. Practical examples of additional income streams. My real estate rentals. Buying property and renting it creates consistent monthly cash flow. Dividend stocks. Building a portfolio of dividend-paying stocks provides income that grows as companies grow. Online courses and ebooks. Once created, these digital products sell repeatedly without additional effort. Affiliate marketing. Recommending products or services online can generate commissions with minimal ongoing work. Side businesses. Small ventures, such as an online store, consulting firm, or creative brand, can scale into significant income. Royalties and licensing. Creative works, patents or designs can bring in money long after they're made. The key is to design income streams that complement your lifestyle and long-term goals, rather than overloading yourself with unsustainable work. Time versus money trade-offs. Not all income streams are created equal. Some require heavy time investment up front. Others require capital. Your task is to balance. If you have more time than money, start with service-based streams like freelancing or consulting. If you have more money than time, focus on investments and automated businesses. If you have both, build hybrid models that combine active effort with long-term scalability, protecting and growing multiple streams. Once you build multiple streams, you must maintain and protect them. Avoid spreading yourself too thin. Quality streams. Beat a long list of weak ones. Monitor your systems regularly to ensure they remain profitable. Adapt as industries and markets change. The streams that worked 5 years ago may not be the ones that carry you into the future. The bigger vision. Each new stream of income is another step toward independence. Imagine your life when your rent is covered by dividends, your groceries are paid by your side business, and your luxuries are funded by passive royalties. At that point, your job becomes optional. Multiple streams of income transform money from a constant stress into a quiet ally. They give you options. They give you time. They give you freedom. When you no longer depend on one paycheck, you stop living in fear and start living in control. Chapter 5. Mastering Debt and Financial Discipline. Breaking the chains. Debt is one of the greatest enemies of financial independence. It robs your future by chaining it to your past. Every borrowed dollar is a claim on your freedom. Every interest payment a tax on your dreams. Until you master debt, money will control you. Once you master it, money begins to obey you. The psychology of debt. Debt is not just numbers on a statement. It is emotional. It creates stress, anxiety, and a sense of being trapped. People in debt often feel powerless, like they are working not for themselves but for their creditors. But debt is not destiny. Debt is a condition, and conditions can be changed. The first step is shifting your mindset. Stop normalizing debt. Society may tell you that debt is part of life, but it doesn't have to be. Stop treating debt as harmless. It is a silent thief, stealing your ability to invest and build wealth. Stop identifying with debt. You are not your debt. You are the person who can conquer it. When you view debt as a challenge to master rather than a life sentence, you regain control. Good debt versus bad debt. Not all debt is the same. Some can be leveraged strategically. Others must be eliminated quickly. Bad debt. Credit cards, payday loans, consumer financing, and anything carrying high interest rates. This type of debt funds consumption, not creation, and drains wealth, rather than building it. Good debt. Low-interest loans used to acquire appreciating assets, such as a mortgage on rental property, or capital to grow a profitable business. This debt can work for you if managed wisely. The rule is simple. Bad debt enslaves. Good debt empowers. Financial independence requires you to eliminate the former and carefully control the latter. The snowball versus avalanche method. Two popular approaches to eliminating personal debt are the snowball and avalanche method. Snowball method. Pay off your smallest debt first, then roll that payment into the next. This builds momentum and psychological wins. Avalanche method. Pay off the highest interest debt first, saving the most money long term. Both work. The best method is the one you stick with consistently. The real power is not in the method itself, but in disciplined execution. Write down balances, interest rates, and minimum payments. Clarity is power. Cut unnecessary spending. Every dollar wasted is a dollar that could buy back your freedom. Build an emergency fund. Even a small fund prevents you from falling back into debt when surprises come. Automate extra payments. Set up recurring transfers to your target debt, so you never rely on willpower alone. Track progress visibly. Watching balances shrink fuels motivation. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Every extra payment, every avoided purchase, every disciplined choice pushes you closer to independence. Living below your means. A secret of financially independent people is that they live below their means. They do not spend to impress. They do not upgrade lifestyles with every raise. They choose freedom over appearance. Living below your means doesn't mean living in scarcity. It means aligning your spending with your goals instead of your impulses. It means choosing the long-term satisfaction of independence over the short-term thrill of consumption. If you want financial freedom, you must stop trying to look rich and start building wealth. The discipline of saying no. Every financial choice is a test of discipline. Can you say no to the unnecessary in order to say yes to your future? No to upgrading cars just to match your neighbors. No to debt-financed vacations that end before the bill arrives. Each no strengthens your discipline. Each no is actually a yes to freedom. Breaking the emotional cycle. Debt often hides in cycles. Feeling stressed. Spending to escape stress. Then feeling more stressed because of the debt. Breaking this cycle requires self-awareness. Ask yourself before every purchase, do I need this? Or do I want this? Will this move me closer to independence? Or push me further from it? Am I buying this to fill a void that money cannot fill? When you become conscious of your habits, you regain power over them. Using income growth to crush debt. Most people try to pay off debt only by cutting expenses. While this is necessary, income growth is the true accelerator. When you add extra income streams and direct that money toward debt elimination, progress accelerates dramatically. Imagine earning an extra $500 per month from a side business and directing it solely to debt. That is $6,000 per year, accelerating your freedom. The faster you pay off debt, the faster you can redirect money into savings and investments. The role of patience. Debt freedom does not happen overnight. It requires patience, persistence, and consistency. But every payment is progress. Every sacrifice is an investment in your future. The truth is, discipline feels heavy in the short term, but light in the long term. Debt feels light in the short term, but heavy in the long term. Choose the weight that brings freedom, not bondage. Debt-free as a foundation. When you eliminate debt, you create a foundation of strength. Your money is no longer consumed by interest. Your future is no longer mortgaged to the past. You gain the power to redirect resources toward wealth creation instead of wealth destruction. Debt mastery is not just about finances. It's about self-mastery. It proves that you can discipline yourself to do what others avoid. It proves that you can sacrifice comfort for freedom. It proves that you are ready for independence. Chapter 6. The Money Mindset. Mastering the Psychology of Wealth. Wealth is not built by numbers alone. Two people with the same income can live completely different financial lives, one trapped in stress, the other steadily building independence. The difference is not just strategy, it is mindset. Your relationship with money is one of the most powerful forces shaping your financial destiny. Before you can master wealth, you must master how you think, feel, and act about money. The invisible beliefs that control money. Most people are not aware that they carry unconscious beliefs about money. These beliefs were formed in childhood, through family, culture, and society. Some grew up hearing money is evil or rich people are greedy. Others were taught money doesn't grow on trees and developed a mindset of scarcity. Some grew up in environments where money was constantly a source of conflict, leaving them anxious and fearful about finances. These invisible scripts drive adult behavior. They lead to overspending, avoidance of investing, fear of risk, or constant financial self-sabotage. To achieve financial independence, you must identify and rewrite these scripts. Money is not evil. Money is a tool. Money amplifies who you are. It does not define you. Scarcity vs. abundance. There are two core money mindsets: scarcity and abundance. Scarcity mindset believes resources are limited, opportunities are rare, and every dollar must be clung to or spent before it disappears. This mindset fuels fear, hoarding, or reckless consumption. Abundance mindset believes opportunities are endless, money can be created and grown, and wealth is available to those who discipline themselves. This mindset fuels patience, creativity, and generosity. Financial independence is built on abundance, not reckless optimism, but the understanding that money grows when managed wisely. Emotional traps around money. Money is not just math, it is emotion. Most financial mistakes are emotional, not logical. Fear of investing, fear of losing money, fear of not having enough, greed, chasing quick riches, falling for get-rich-quick schemes, over-leveraging in pursuit of bigger gains, impatience, wanting wealth instantly, abandoning long-term strategies when results take time, shame, avoiding finances because of guilt over past mistakes, leading to paralysis, comparison, measuring your progress against others, feeling inadequate or pressured to overspend. Until you master these emotions, you will always be at the mercy of your impulses. The discipline of emotional control. Financial independence is not just about earning and saving. It's about emotional control, the ability to stay calm when markets drop, disciplined when friends spend recklessly, and patient when progress feels slow, is what separates the wealthy from the struggling. Practical disciplines include a 24-hour rule for non-essential purchases, reduces emotional buying, detach from market noise, constant news, predictions and hype fuel fear and greed. Long-term focus protects you. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Each small step toward independence matters. Don't get discouraged by what remains. Gratitude practice. Appreciating what you already have reduces the urge for impulsive consumption. Reframing money as a tool. Money is not the goal. Freedom. Money is simply the tool that makes freedom possible. When you see money as a servant rather than a master, you stop chasing it blindly and start directing it wisely. Money can buy time, which is life's most valuable asset. Money can provide options, which create independence. Money can reduce stress, freeing mental energy for higher pursuits. Money can empower generosity, allowing you to bless others. When you view money as a tool for life design, you shift from obsession to mastery. The identity of a wealth builder. Your financial results will always align with your identity. If you see yourself as someone bad with money, your habits will reinforce that identity. If you see yourself as a wealth builder, Your actions shift automatically. Tell yourself, I am disciplined with money. I make choices that grow wealth. I am patient, consistent, and in control. When you adopt the identity of a wealth builder, you stop fighting against yourself. You begin to act naturally in ways that build independence. Designing your money habits. Habits are the bridge between mindset and results. To reprogram your relationship with money, build habits that reflect abundance and discipline. Automate savings and investments so you cannot sabotage yourself. Track expenses weekly to stay conscious and intentional. Review your financial goals monthly, reconnecting with your vision. Surround yourself with people who value discipline, not reckless consumption. Each habit rewires your subconscious, turning discipline into instinct. Resisting the illusion of lifestyle inflation. One of the greatest enemies of financial independence is lifestyle inflation. Spending more every time you earn more. This trap keeps millions of people broke, even as their incomes rise. The solution is mindset. Instead of asking, what new things can I buy with this raise? Ask, how can I use this raise to accelerate independence? When your income grows but your spending does not, the gap between them becomes your freedom fund. Healing the relationship with money. For some, money has been a source of trauma, poverty, debt, conflict, or instability. Achieving independence requires healing. You must forgive yourself for past mistakes, release shame, and replace old patterns with new ones. Say to yourself, my past with money does not define my future. I am capable of building wealth, step by step. I deserve freedom, stability, and independence. This emotional healing is as important as financial strategies. Without it, you may unconsciously sabotage your progress. The long-term vision. True independence comes when you align money with your highest values. You no longer work for survival. You work for purpose. You no longer stress about bills. You focus on creating, giving, and living fully. Your mindset becomes the foundation of this reality. Strategy without mindset is fragile. But when discipline, patience, and emotional control combine, your financial future becomes unstoppable. Chapter 7. Building financial resilience. Protecting wealth and thriving in uncertainty. Financial independence is not only about creating wealth, it is about keeping it, protecting it, and making it endure through life's inevitable storms. It is possible to earn well, invest wisely, and save diligently, only to lose everything through poor risk management, lack of protection, or unpreparedness for crises. True independence means resilience, the ability to withstand shocks without collapsing, to adapt when circumstances change, and to continue moving forward, no matter what the world throws at you. Why resilience matters. History has shown us that crises always come. Recessions, pandemics, inflation, wars, job losses, medical emergencies, technological disruptions. Some are personal, others global. But one truth remains. The people who endure are those who prepared for the unexpected. In 2008, millions lost homes because they were over-leveraged and unprepared for a housing collapse. During the pandemic, many households fell into chaos because they had no emergency funds. Inflation silently eats into savings when money is not properly protected. Resilience is the difference between panic and stability, between survival and thriving. The pillars of financial resilience. Resilience rests on multiple pillars. Each one strengthens your ability to face uncertainty with confidence. Emergency funds. The foundation of resilience is liquidity. You need cash reserves that can carry you through 3 to 12 months of essential expenses. This fund is not for investments, luxuries, or opportunities. It is a shield against crisis. When job loss, medical bills, or sudden expenses arise, this fund prevents you from falling into debt or selling long-term assets at the wrong time. Diversification of income. Relying on a single income stream makes you fragile. True resilience requires multiple sources: salary, business, investments, side hustles, or royalties. The more diversified your income, the less vulnerable you are to a single failure. Insurance and risk management. Insurance is often overlooked, but it is critical protection. Health insurance, life insurance, property insurance, disability coverage. They all shield your wealth from catastrophic loss. Insurance is not a waste. It is a transfer of risk. You pay small amounts to prevent devastating financial ruin. Debt discipline. Resilience is impossible with crushing debt. High-interest debt enslaves you, removing flexibility and increasing vulnerability. Eliminate toxic debt and keep leverage conservative, even when opportunities seem attractive. Asset allocation. Wealth must be distributed across asset classes: cash, equities, real estate, precious metals, businesses. Different assets behave differently during crises. Diversification protects you when one sector collapses. Building the crisis-proof mindset. Financial resilience is not just about structures, it is about mindset. The way you perceive and respond to uncertainty will determine whether you panic or adapt. Expect uncertainty. Don't be surprised when the unexpected arrives. Plan for it. Stay calm under stress. Panic selling, emotional decisions, and short-term thinking destroy wealth. Be adaptable. When circumstances change, pivot quickly. A rigid financial strategy is fragile. Live below your means. Flexibility comes from spending less than you earn. Those who overextend cannot survive shocks. Protecting wealth from inflation. One of the silent killers of wealth is inflation, the steady erosion of money's purchasing power. A bank account that looks stable is, in reality, shrinking year by year. Strategies to guard against inflation. Invest in assets that grow faster than inflation. Stocks, real estate, businesses. Hold a portion of wealth in inflation-resistant assets, like commodities or inflation-protected bonds. Constantly increase skills and earning ability. Human capital is the greatest inflation hedge. Preparing for recessions and market crashes. Every few years, markets correct. Every decade or two, a major recession hits. Most people suffer because they fail to prepare. Do not over-leverage. Debt magnifies losses in downturns. Keep cash reserves. Opportunities are born in recessions. Those with liquidity can buy undervalued assets. Stay long-term focused. Do not abandon wealth-building strategies because of short-term fear. Cut unnecessary expenses early. Adjust lifestyle quickly when signs of recession appear, instead of waiting until it's too late. The role of adaptability in wealth. Resilience is not only about protection. It is about evolution. The economy changes, jobs disappear, industries collapse, technology disrupts old ways of earning. The resilient person constantly learns new skills, stays relevant, and adapts to new opportunities. They do not cling to outdated paths. They pivot when necessary. They understand that flexibility is wealth. A fragile mindset says, "I hope nothing changes." A resilient mindset says, "When change comes, I will adapt and thrive." Ensure your wealth is structured to pass efficiently to heirs, without excessive taxes or legal battles. Financial education for children. Teach them principles of saving, investing, and discipline. Inheritance without education is quickly wasted. Trusts and structure. Use legal and financial tools to shield family wealth across generations. A legacy is not just money, it is resilience passed down. The emotional benefits of resilience. When you are financially resilient, you gain peace of mind. Stress reduces. Fear disappears. You sleep better knowing that storms may come, but you are protected. You make better decisions when you are not desperate. You can take calculated risks without jeopardizing stability. You feel free to pursue opportunities because you know your foundation is secure. Resilience is not just protection. It is empowerment. The continuous practice of resilience. Resilience is not built once. It must be maintained. Life changes. Costs increase. New risks appear. Review emergency funds yearly. Reassess insurance needs as family, income or assets grow. Rebalance investments to maintain diversification. Stay educated on economic trends, not to panic but to prepare. The goal is not to eliminate uncertainty, but to remove its power over you. Financial independence as true security. Financial independence without resilience is fragile. It can collapse with one crisis, but financial independence with resilience is unshakable. You become anti-fragile, able not only to survive uncertainty, but to grow stronger from it. That is the essence of true independence, not just having wealth, but having wealth that endures. Chapter 8. Wealth Acceleration. Turning stability into abundance. Once you have mastered the foundations, budgeting, saving, investing, protecting wealth, the next stage is acceleration. Stability is the foundation, but it is not the destination. Financial independence becomes truly powerful when your wealth no longer grows in a straight line, but in an upward curve of compounding, scaling, and abundance. This is the art of wealth acceleration, taking disciplined habits and multiplying them into extraordinary results. The principle of compounding. Albert Einstein famously called compounding the eighth wonder of the world. Why? Because it turns small, consistent actions into massive outcomes over time. A $500 monthly investment at a 10% annual return becomes $1 million in 30. Saving aggressively in your 20s can make you wealthier than saving double in your 40s. The earlier you start, the less effort is required. The later you start, the more effort is demanded. Acceleration begins by respecting time. The sooner your money starts working for you, the faster independence arrives. Scaling income beyond time. Most people earn by trading time for money. But there is a ceiling. Time is limited. Wealth acceleration requires scaling beyond your hours. Entrepreneurship. Build businesses that operate without your constant presence. Investments. Let capital replace labor as the engine of wealth. Digital assets. Royalties. Online products. Courses, books and software. Generate income repeatedly with minimal added effort. Ownership, not labor. Move from being a worker to being an owner of systems. The question is not how much can I earn in an hour, but what systems can I build that earn even while I sleep. Multiplying through strategic investing. Stable investing builds security. Strategic investing accelerates wealth. Equities. Focus on long-term growth companies, index funds, and global diversification. Private businesses. Equity in small businesses often outpaces traditional markets. Alternative assets. Explore venture capital, peer-to-peer lending, or cryptocurrency. Cautiously high risk but potentially high reward. Acceleration does not mean reckless gambling. It means calculated boldness, identifying opportunities with asymmetric upside and managing risk intelligently. The power of leverage. Leverage magnifies results, but it must be handled carefully. Used wisely, it accelerates independence. Used recklessly, it destroys wealth. Financial leverage. Borrowing at low interest to invest in high-yielding assets. Time leverage. Delegating, outsourcing and automating tasks, so you focus only on high-value action. True independence comes not from doing everything alone, but from building systems that multiply your effort. Wealth acceleration through networks. Your network is a form of capital. Opportunities rarely come randomly. They come through people. Surround yourself with ambitious, growth-oriented individuals. Join investment clubs, business masterminds or entrepreneurial groups. Build relationships based on trust, collaboration and mutual value. Acceleration happens faster when you are connected to those who are already accelerating. The psychology of abundance. At this stage, Mindset becomes the ultimate drive. Many people sabotage wealth acceleration because they cling to scarcity thinking, fear of losing, reluctance to take calculated risks, or an inability to believe they deserve more. Shifting into an abundance mindset means seeing money as a tool, not a source of fear, believing opportunities are limitless, not scarce, understanding that generosity creates circulation. When you give, opportunities return, focusing on growth, not only protection. A scarcity mindset builds walls. An abundance mindset builds bridges, reinventing yourself through financial growth. As wealth accelerates, your identity must evolve. Many stop progressing because they continue living with the mindset of someone at a lower stage of financial growth. From saver to invest, saving alone cannot accelerate wealth. You must take the leap into investing. From worker to owner, trading time must give way to building scalable assets. From independent seeker to abundance creator, once independence is achieved, you must ask, how can I build lasting impact and legacy? Acceleration is as much about personal reinvention as it is about financial strategies. Protecting against overconfidence. Acceleration brings danger, the illusion that growth will last forever. Many fall during this stage because they ignore risk, overspend, or over-leverage. Safeguards against overconfidence. Always maintain emergency reserves. Even during growth, rebalance investments periodically. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Do not let spending rise as fast as income. Remember, fast growth is exciting, but steady growth is enduring, creating generational momentum. Acceleration is not only for your lifetime. It can compound across generation. Document your knowledge, so the next generation inherits both money and wisdom. When wealth acceleration continues beyond you, independence becomes not just personal, but generational. The fulfillment of wealth acceleration. True financial independence is not just numbers on a screen. It is the ability to live with purpose. Acceleration as powerful not because it buys more luxury, but because it creates freedom. Freedom to work because you choose to, not because you must. Freedom to invest in causes, communities, or innovations that matter. Freedom to design a life aligned with your deepest values. Wealth acceleration, when rooted in discipline and purpose, is not greed. It is growth. Chapter 9. Mastery and Legacy. Creating wealth that outlives you. Financial independence begins with survival, grows into stability, and flourishes through acceleration. But the highest stage of independence is mastery, where wealth is no longer about numbers, but about influence, impact, and permanence. True independence is not achieved when you can simply pay your bills without stress. It is achieved when you can design your life, shape your legacy, and leave behind a foundation that empowers others long after you are gone. The transition from accumulation to mastery. Most people stop at accumulation. Earn more, save more, invest more. But mastery demands a shift in perspective. Instead of asking how much money can I make, you begin asking what structures will outlive me. Instead of chasing constant growth, you seek sustainable generational system. Instead of focusing solely on freedom, you aim for influence and contribution. Mastery is not just about what you own. It is about what you create and sustain. The 4 dimensions of wealth mastery. To truly master financial independence, you must develop 4 interconnected dimensions, not being reactive to markets, but proactively shaping strategies for long-term endurance. Personal mastery. Maintaining discipline even after reaching independence. Living with intentionality, not drifting into complacency. Using freedom to pursue growth, health, and purpose. Relational mastery. Teaching and empowering your family, friends, and community. Building partnerships, mentoring others, and lifting those who come after you. Recognizing that wealth without relationships is empty. Legacy mastery. leaving behind systems of impact, not just money. Building businesses, foundations, or scholarships that live beyond you, turning independence into generational influence. Without planning, wealth often disappears within 2 generations. Studies show that 70% of wealthy families lose their fortune by the 2nd generation, and 90% by the 3rd. Why? Because they pass money but not wisdom. To avoid this fate, educate heirs. Money without knowledge is quickly wasted. Teach financial principles early. Structure inheritance. Use wills, trusts, or family investment vehicles to ensure smooth transfer of assets. Define family values. Wealth is not only financial, it is cultural and spiritual. Document the principles that guided your independence. Encourage stewardship. Empower heirs to grow the wealth, not merely consume it. Legacy is not about control. It is about guidance. Wealth as a tool for impact. At the mastery stage, money becomes less about personal consumption and more about creating meaningful impact. Philanthropy. Supporting causes you believe in, not just with money, but with systems that endure. Community investment. Funding local businesses, schools or healthcare initiatives. Mentorship and education. Using your knowledge to guide the next generation of entrepreneurs and leaders. Social entrepreneurship. Building ventures that solve problems while creating profit. Independence becomes powerful when it shifts from freedom for me to freedom for many. The discipline of sustaining mastery. Reaching mastery is difficult, but sustaining it is even harder. Wealth can create arrogance, complacency, or reckless behavior. Mastery requires humility and continuous growth. Guard against lifestyle inflation. Even at the highest levels, discipline must remain. Reinvest consistently. Wealth that is not multiplied eventually withers. Surround yourself with accountability. Mentors, advisors, or boards keep you sharp. Stay a student. Economic systems evolve. Never stop learning. Mastery is not a final destination. It is a practice. Spiritual and emotional wealth. Beyond numbers, true mastery includes inner wealth. Financial independence is empty if it does not bring peace, joy and fulfillment. Peace of mind comes from security and clarity. Joy comes from freedom to live authentically. Fulfillment comes from giving, creating and leaving a legacy larger than yourself. Wealth is powerful, but without inner growth it remains incomplete. Preparing for generational continuity. One of the greatest tests of mastery is how well you prepare the next generation. Share decisions, expose them to business discussions, let them see financial discipline in action. Model behavior. Children learn more from what you do than what you say. Give responsibility gradually. Allow them to manage small investments or projects before larger ones. Celebrate stewardship, not consumption. Teach them that independence is about choices, not indulgence. When independence is passed on as both wealth and wisdom, it multiplies across generations. Freedom beyond money. At this stage, the true essence of independence is revealed. Freedom beyond money. Freedom of time, to live days by design, not obligation. Freedom of purpose, to work on projects that inspire, not just sustain. Freedom of impact, to leave the world better than you found it. Freedom of mind, to live without fear, greed or insecurity. The art of financial independence is not about escaping work. It is about transforming work into purpose, money into meaning, and freedom into legacy. The indestructible legacy. The highest form of wealth is indestructible legacy. Money fades, economies shift, but values, wisdom and contribution do. When you teach others the art of independence, when you build systems that uplift communities, when you pass down both wealth and principles, you create something that time cannot erase. That is financial mastery. That is legacy. Chapter 10. Financial independence as a life philosophy. Living fully, living free. Financial independence is not only about numbers, strategies, or wealth. It is about a way of living. It is about embracing freedom as a guiding principle, shaping every decision, and aligning your money with your deepest values. The final stage of financial independence transcends wealth itself. It becomes a philosophy, a way of life that touches your health, relationships, choices, and legacy. It is the art of living fully, living free. From financial goal to life philosophy. Most people begin their financial journey with a goal. Pay off debt, save for a home, retire early. These are milestones, not destinies. At Mastery, goals give way to philosophy. Instead of chasing temporary targets, you create a system of living where independence is constant, not conditional. Independence becomes part of your identity. Money serves life, not the other way around. Every decision reflects freedom, whether to spend, invest, or give. The art lies not in reaching a single destination, but in cultivating a life where freedom flows naturally. The integration of wealth and well-being. What is the point of financial independence if health is neglected, relationships suffer, or meaning is absent? True independence integrates all dimensions of life. If health, freedom, wealth is wasted without energy, vitality, or longevity. Invest in your body as you invest in your portfolio. Nutrition, movement, independence gives you freedom to prioritize well-being without financial stress. Time freedom. The most precious resource is not money, it is time. With independence, you reclaim your hours, spending them on creation, family, learning, or rest. Guard your time as fiercely as your wealth. Relationship freedom. Independence gives you the power to choose relationships based on love and respect, not dependency or financial pressure. You are free to walk away from toxic ties and nurture bonds that truly matter. Purpose freedom. At this stage, work is not for survival but for significance. You choose projects, businesses, or causes that align with your values. Purpose replaces obligation. The philosophy of enough. One of the deepest lessons of independence is learning the difference between abundance and excess. Enough is not about minimalism or denial. It is about sufficiency. Excess creates stress, clutter, and distraction. Abundance is having more than you need to live freely, while enough is knowing when to stop chasing. Those who never discover enough remain slaves, no matter how wealthy they become. Independence and inner peace. Financial independence grants the opportunity to cultivate peace of mind. Stress about money disappears when you know you are secure. But peace requires more than wealth. It requires detachment from fear, greed, and comparison. Detachment from fear. You are no longer controlled by survival anxiety. Detachment from greed. You do not need more for validation. You have enough. Detachment from comparison. You measure success by your values, not others' standards. Peace is the highest return on independence. The responsibility of freedom. Freedom, without responsibility, becomes emptiness. Once independence is achieved, responsibility grows, not only for yourself, but for others. Responsibility to your family, ensuring they are secure and empowered. Responsibility to your community, using wealth to uplift, not exploit. Responsibility to yourself, living authentically, not wasting freedom on distraction. Independence is not escape, it is stewardship. The legacy of philosophy. The greatest legacy of financial independence is not the wealth you leave, but the philosophy you embody. Teaching values, not just assets. Modeling discipline, resilience, and vision. Demonstrating how money serves life, not enslaves it. When others learn the philosophy of freedom from your life, your impact multiplies beyond wealth. The continuous journey. Independence is never finished. Markets evolve. Costs rise. Families grow. Challenges appear. But the philosophy endures. You will revisit principles again and again. Saving, investing, resilience, acceleration, master. You will adjust strategies, but the core remains. Freedom, discipline, purpose. You will pass through seasons of growth, protection, giving, and reinvention. The journey is lifelong, and that is its beauty. Living fully, living free. The art of financial independence is not about retiring early, hoarding money or escaping life. It is about living with intentionality, abundance, and freedom. Waking each morning without financial fear. Spending time on what truly matters. Building, creating and giving, without constraint. Knowing that your wealth, your wisdom, and your legacy will endure. Financial independence is not the end of the journey. It is the doorway to a life fully lived.